All right, so today we are diving into something that sounds like it's straight out of science fiction.
Intriguing. I'm all ears. What's got you so riled up?
Well, imagine you're in Ethiopia just going about your day, maybe paying a bill on your phone.
Yeah, pretty standard stuff.
Exactly. But 10, you see an option to buy actual shares right there in your mobile money app. Not just any shares, either shares in the biggest telecom company in the country.
Oh, wow. You're talking about Ethio Telecom offering shares directly through Telebirr. That's big. Talk about cutting out the middleman.
That's exactly what we're diving into today. Ethio Telecom shaking things up by letting people snag a piece of the company through their very own mobile money app. No brokers, no bank visits, just straight up digital ownership.
I see what you mean about science fiction. So we're talking about the Ethiopian government essentially offering 10% of Ethio Telecom directly to its citizens, starting in just a couple of weeks, right? October 16th, if I remember correctly.
Nailed it. And the most fascinating part, they're using Telebirr, their very own mobile money platform, as the platform for this.
It's a bold move, no doubt about
Yeah.
that. I mean, consider the reach of mobile money in many parts of Africa. It's often the main way people handle their finances.
Absolutely. It's their bank in their pocket. But this move, it's like opening up investment opportunities to a whole new world. You don't even need a traditional bank account to potentially become an Ethio Telecom shareholder.
I think this speaks volumes about where things are headed. The
Mhm.
lines between tech and finance are blurring, especially in regions where mobile money is king.
So how does this actually work, though? Is it as simple as just listing the shares on the app like they would any other product or service?
Pretty much. From what I understand, Ethio Telecom has gone through the process of obtaining a securities brokerage license. They've essentially set up a mini stock market within the app itself.
Whoa. Talk about in-house innovation. I mean,
Yeah.
this isn't some small startup we're talking about. This is Ethio Telecom, a company over a century old with the government backing it. Not to mention, it's a major player in the Ethiopian economy.
Exactly. It's not every day you see a giant like Ethio Telecom making moves like this. But that's also what makes it so interesting, right? They've got a lot to gain, potentially a fresh influx of capital, which they could use for all sorts of things. Think expanding their network, investing in new tech like 5G, maybe even launching completely new services.
It seems almost like they're skipping a step, though, right? Didn't I read something about Ethiopia gearing up to launch its own stock exchange soon?
Yeah, that's been in the works for a while now.
So is this a sign that they're completely bypassing the traditional stock exchange route?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? I doubt they'd completely ditch the idea of a formal stock exchange, but this could be a way to test the waters, so to speak. Offer shares through Telebirr, see how people respond, and then use those learnings when they launch the full-fledged stock exchange. If anything, it could even get more people comfortable with the whole idea of investing.
That's a good point. It's like a crash course in investing, but with real stakes.
Exactly. Though, of course, no bold move comes without its risks, right? We've talked about the potential benefits for Ethio Telecom, but what about the flip side? I imagine managing a shareholder base that could potentially number in the millions, all interacting through an app. That's got to come with its own set of challenges.
I can only imagine. That's a whole lot of people to keep happy and informed.
Precisely. Transparency will be absolutely crucial here. Ethio Telecom needs to find effective ways to communicate with this potentially massive and possibly less financially savvy investor base. Managing expectations, especially if the market takes a downturn, that'll be key.
It really makes you think, are we witnessing the start of something huge? Could this be the spark that ignites a whole trend of companies, especially in developing economies, ditching the traditional financial playbook and opting for this direct-to-consumer approach?
It's certainly a possibility. If Ethio Telecom pulls this off, and I have to emphasize that if, it could very well embolden other companies and even governments to rethink how they approach things. Imagine a world where your phone isn't just for calls and messages, but a gateway to directly owning a part of the companies that shape your life.
That's a powerful image. It's almost like we're on the verge of a financial revolution, all driven by the technology that's already in our pockets. So, to our listeners out there, we turn the question to you. What do you think of this bold move? Would you buy Ethio Telecom shares through your Telebirr app if you had the chance? And what do you think the future holds for this daring experiment?